Living. Today is Tuesday and I've got my favorite tea, so I figured I would do a little Tuesday talk with tea. Since if you follow me, you'll notice that I go to my favorite Argo tea store on a very regular basis for my favorite chocolate mint tea, especially in these cold winter months. So today's topic is about the best pillow for sleeping. So I was online yesterday and I was noticing a fitness professional giving advice to other students or clients or people following him online about the best pillow for sleeping. And he was talking about side sleeping and back sleeping and front sleeping, and he was sort of scolding somebody about sleeping on their stomach and why that's so bad for you. And somebody else chimed in that once they stopped belly sleeping, that their back felt so much better. And I was just reading through this thread yesterday and it kind of triggered me because in the world of movement, we want movement all the time. And in this thread that I was reading, he was talking about, somebody said that they can't figure out a pillow because they're moving so much when they sleep. And his response was, well, clearly you can't get comfortable and settled when you're sleeping, and that's a negative thing. So I was kind of like, something about that didn't seem right. So from my education, we want movement, right? We want movement all day long. We want high frequency, low intensity for pretty much the largest change that you can create and your tissues have time to adapt to. So for instance, doing small micro movements sort of spread throughout all your waking hours is actually going to give you bigger benefits than a really hardcore workout session for 1 hour in the day. So the perfect example is squatting. So when I sit on the floor, I have to squat to get myself down, and then I have to, lunge to get myself up. I squat to go to the bathroom. And so I'm squatting, and when I'm teaching, I'm getting on and off the floor, and I'm squatting and lunging and getting back up, and I'm repeating that sort of all throughout my waking hours, versus going to like a 30-minute power legs class and doing maybe 30, 50 reps of squats. That would not be as effective, and my tissues would actually fatigue faster, and I would actually maybe do more squats throughout my entire day if I did a spread of frequency throughout my entire day of sitting on the floor, getting off the floor, squatting to go to the bathroom, getting off the toilet, that type of idea. So my opinion is that you want lots of frequency of movement all day long. So how does that apply to sleeping? So our culture and our society typically has a bed, right? There's other cultures, they don't use beds, they use, floor sleeping and whatnot. So for the most part, everybody has a bed. Most people also have a couch. And so when you go to sit, say on a couch, the couch is soft and squishy. And so when you sit in something soft and squishy, it's like pillows, right? It's kind of like you're sitting on pillows. Your body will not get the responses as if you're sitting on a hard surface. So if you've ever gone to a football game and you've sat on a hard bleacher and your bottom starts to hurt, and then you kind of have to move around and maybe you have to go for a walk because your bottom gets sore from sitting in that same position for a period of time. When you go to sit on a couch, your body doesn't get that same signal of pain or discomfort. So you're actually more likely to sit in the exact same geometry or position in, say, a couch. Good example, you're watching your favorite TV show at night. You sit on the couch, you may not move for the hour-long West Wing throwback, which is what I do every night, program. Not bad. It's not a negative thing. But if you watch West Wing every single night, and it's an hour-long program, I think, and you sit on the same couch in the same position every single night, and I think it's 7 seasons long. It's a really long program. That's a lot of sitting, and that's a lot of still sitting. So if you compound that over a long period of time, it's not great, right? So let's talk about sleeping. You're on this bed. It's kind of like you're sleeping on a pillow. Some even have like pillow tops. And you're sleeping there for, 6 to 8, 10 hours. And your body does not receive the signals it needs to move because it's so soft and so cushy. If your bed was much harder, your body would get responses. If you've ever gone like camping and slept in a sleeping bag on the floor, it's uncomfortable. So your body will adjust and move and shift because laying in one position puts a lot of pressure on like certain areas of your body. And you would get that signal, and that signal would say move, and you might even be asleep, and then your body would shift and move. So, trick question. When you sleep, is it better to stay static in one position all night long, according to the guy that I read yesterday on Instagram? Or would it be better to actually be more mobile all throughout your sleeping hours? My opinion is that you actually want to be mobile and moving around all throughout your sleeping hours. Not enough to be disruptive in your sleep. I think there's probably long stretches where you are still. And, I haven't really recorded myself when I'm sleeping, so I don't really know what I do, but I do think it's healthier in our tissues and our bodies to keep moving and being mobile all throughout our sleeping hours, just like it is during all of our awake hours. So how does the pillow come into play for this? So because the pillow is like one more pillowed surface, no pun intended, not only is it going to sort of cast your head in one specific position, no matter whether you're lying on your side or on your front or on your back, wherever, it's going to slightly lift your head up in any of those positions, as opposed to being on a flat and level surface where your head might actually stretch, and then maybe you roll to the other side and it stretches the other way, and then maybe it comes forward and you turn it and you turn it the other way. So putting a pillow up, especially a really high elevated pillow, would tip your head in a specific position. And if you sleep pretty still for most of the night, which most people do, it's sort of locking your head and neck in one static position. And like I just said, we sort of want small micro movements spread throughout the day and the night, that holding your head in one specific position for a couple hours on end would cause a lot of stagnation in the tissues, especially if you have a preferred sleeping side and then you have a preferred pillow, and you're assuming the same geometry every single day for 6, 8, 10 hours a day, that accumulates to a lot of time holding a specific position. So if you could actually slowly work your pillow down to a very flat, thin surface, eventually remove it, and then if you could actually take your bed and either choose to drop it down to the floor. In the natural movement community, a lot of people will take futons and put them on the ground, or, like thin padding, either like a wool topper or something along those lines, and put that on the ground of their home. Hardwoods typically versus carpeting, so that they start to learn what it's like to sleep, getting some of those signals for actually more robust tissue health and long-term health. So, to back it up, what's the best pillow for sleeping? There isn't one. Spoiler alert, there isn't one, because ultimately at the end of the day, we want to keep mobile. We want to keep mobile all throughout the waking hours. We want to stay mobile all throughout our sleeping hours. And if you're on a very squishy, soft surface, your body will not receive the signals that it needs to move and adjust and change and accommodate, a stagnant position for a long period of time. So check in with your couches, see if you can practice a little bit of floor sitting, or if you sit on a couch, change how you're sitting deliberately, like sit cross-legged, sit with your legs up, lay flat, keep alternating how you're sitting and try not to sit in the exact same way over and over and over again. And maybe practice some floor sitting. And then when it comes to your bed, if you feel like you need more robust tissues and maybe you've got some back pain from sleeping or neck pain, then maybe consider some floor sleeping options with a futon. That was something I really needed during my pregnancy. It was really, really crucial because my joints were becoming really extra hyperlax, and I needed that really stiff, solid surface to sleep on, because it actually helped with some of my pain in my pelvis. And so yeah, those are some options. So there's no right pillow. I'm kind of on a quest to slowly get my pillow to get as flat as possible. So I've taken a feather down pillow, and you can pull the feathers out. And I can also kind of like squish the pillow or the feathers out of the way so that my head gets a little flatter on the bed. So that is sort of my 2020 kind of work my way down off a pillow. And then once I get flat and level, then I'm gonna move back to floor sleeping again. So that's it. Hopefully that helps. Here's my cheers to tea. I did not take a sip, so I'm gonna take a sip. But yeah, so happy moving. Keep moving all throughout your day. Pay attention to soft, squishy surfaces if they're keeping you and inhibiting your signals for movement. We have body signals all day long. It's whether or not you pay attention to them. And do they happen? And do we give them opportunity to turn on? So, all right. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and we'll talk soon. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.